Steph Curry had 16 Player of the Week nods when he played at Davidson.
Jake Stevens, 7 feet and standing in the center. Evan Bronze, 6'9", out of Iowa City, standing center court. Chattanooga in the home white with the mocks across the chest. Belmont in the traveling blue uniforms. Yeah, 16 is a long ways to go for Jake Stevens. And he wins the opening tap. This is Davis on the jab step, pitches back out. 9th all-time meeting between these two schools. Chattanooga has been on a roll. And Belmont is looking to get back into the win column after a loss the other night. This is Shepard on the steal and quickly hands off to Davidson.
You said 9th meeting all time. That's surprisingly low. I mean, 2 in-state schools, you just would think they would play more than that.
There's an offensive turnover on a toss across the top of the key, and both these teams have started off with one step in the wrong direction.
That's what Chattanooga wants to do. Get you in the half court, run the offense through Jake Stevens, and then sets up a kick out. And boy, he can really shoot it.
Splash.
That, in a nutshell, is what Chattanooga wants to do to you. They get motion to the basket, sucks the defense in, and kick out to the three-point line.
Chattanooga has won their last 2 games leading wire to wire. They get off to a good start here in this one, a 2 o'clock start. Shot clock ticking down to 5. And the block underneath.
Shepard's a ball player, though. He can really slash, and he's one of their best players, one of the best players on the court in general.
Stevens. White over to Davis, looking for their second 3, and that one rims out to the right.
Great ball movement for Chattanooga. You talking about making the extra pass. They made 2 extra passes, and it ended in a wide-open 3.
This is Davidson, one of the transfers in this game. He came from Davidson College. Shepard with the shot clock winding down, back out in front again. Across the top is Davidson. Dribbled into trouble, nowhere to go but back out with it. Got to hurry, shot clock down to 1, and the leaner, and then the tip. And that'll be a violation of the shot clock, and so Chattanooga will get the ball again. Dalvin White took a poke to the eye, and there is a timeout on the floor right here.
Great defensive possession there for Chattanooga. Really defended multiple drives there, and were able to force a shot clock violation. That's something that Chattanooga really this season has not done a lot of, is forced turnovers. And Coach Dan Earl talked about that. He's like, look, we got to force more turnovers and just turn up the defensive pressure. That's really the only thing this Chattanooga team has been missing so far. They've been shooting it well enough. They've been scoring enough points to win. Just need to ramp up that defensive pressure just a little bit.
I really didn't see who called the timeout here, but I would expect that either coach would have called the timeout. Not a very good start.
A little sloppy. And it's not often that you get both teams coming in off of a game against a common opponent. Both of these teams played MTSU last. Belmont lost their game in overtime, and boy, it was a great game. 85-75. Well, really, I think Belmont just ran out of gas, and they've been battling the injury bug and trying to get these guys back into shape.
Belmont has 1 shot, 2 turnovers, and a shot clock violation here in the first 3 minutes of this contest. First 2.5 minutes, rather. This is Jake Stevens on the hard cutter, and on the inside, off the glass for his first 2 of the day is Jamal Johnson.
That's what Jake Stevens does. They'll put him at the free throw line. They'll run the offense through him, and if he only did that, you could defend it pretty easily, but he's also been able this year to go down to the low block, play with his back against the basket, and he's been really, really efficient.
Chattanooga's opened with the first 5, and Belmont's still looking for a good look. Here's Friberg, and he does what he normally can do, which is nail the 3, the transfer out of Princeton.
Talked to Coach Dan Earl before the game, and he said that. He's like, Drew Friberg can really shoot the basketball. We're going to have to be good in our closeouts.
Yeah, Friberg coming into this game, 39 of 80 from behind the three-point line, 33%. And he takes the most of any three-pointers on a club that takes a lot. Dalvin White second game back after injury. Jake Stevens thought about pulling the trigger, and the defense comes out in a flash and shuts that down.
Cool hard screen by Stevens there.
Johnson's fadeaway gets it right back off the front of the rim, misses to the left. This is Tyson, the freshman at the top of the key, back to Friberg. Shepard now with a long look.
Shepard, quite a ball player. He's a great slasher, a good length, but he can really shoot the three. And he had a huge game against MTSU. He hit 8 threes. He hit the game-tying three at the buzzer, which was an outstanding shot to force that game into overtime. He can really fill it up.
Scored 23 last year against Chattanooga. Here's the interesting matchup, the two big guys, 7 feet and 6'9".
Yeah, and Belmont felt really good about getting Bronze back. They've really been missing his presence in there, and really in a game like this where you got Jake Stevens and for Chattanooga and the amount of space that he can chew up, having Bronze back in there to counteract a little bit of that is game-changing.
Belmont has gone on a run here, and they can take the lead with a field goal. This is Tyson, missing off the back of the glass and the rim. Chattanooga on the run out. Caldwell gave it a thought. And White's long-range shot off the back of the rim. Now the Bruins are clawing their way back into this one. Chattanooga has yet to surrender the lead, but this possession could do it. Jab step, jumper, and they have their first lead of the day.
Keyshawn Davidson, we talked to, he wears that shoulder brace, missed the first 6 games of the season due to missing or banging that shoulder up. He's been a guy that's been trying to get going. You know, he's a grad transfer from Tennessee Tech. Great shooter.
Davis loses control of the dribble, and Chattanooga turns it over on the offensive possession. That's their second lost opportunity of the day. Shepard along the baseline. And Belmont will, living up to their reputation here inside McKenzie Arena, as they lead now by 2.
Chattanooga known for the three-point shot, but Belmont says, hold up, we can do that too.
Get low prices and great deals on last-minute gifts at Target. Hurry to save on the last-minute gifts on your list. Get low prices and great deals so you can holiday your way. Only at Target.
Conquer the great outdoors or the great indoors. The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X. Welcome to the peak of premium off-roading. GMC, we are professional grade.
Change is coming. Hey, what's up, Chicago? It's Zach Boog, and it's that time of the year where you don't want to be stuck on the side of the road. So it's time to get that service checkup, okay? Get your tires changed, get your brakes looked out, get an oil change, and you can do it all at ChevyDriveChicago.com. Schedule it ASAP right now. Change is coming.
Casey Alexander, the head coach at Belmont. He's a graduate from the school, 1995, now in his 4th season, working on the board there.
Yeah, he's done a really good job here. He's, like you said, he's in his 4th year here at Belmont, 83-24. The record there, and this is a program in Belmont that they're used to winning conference titles, making postseason appearances. They played 15 of the last 17 years in postseason. Just have turned into a perennial powerhouse in the state.
Certainly has done wonders with a program that is supported so well Great attendance at their home games. Shepherd.
Great arena.
Absolutely. Trying to arch that right-hander in. It comes off the back of the rim. This is Walker, who's checked into the game, and there's Shepherd, who's trying to step into a steal, and he comes up with it. And he is grabbed around the neck there. Christian Corsalt with his first, team second here in the game. Chattanooga has been scoreless in the last 2:41. They have lost the lead. Shepherd's three, missing off the front.
Yeah, Shepherd, ultra athletic, 6'6" frame, very muscular, can really jump. He's a problem on the defensive end.
Stevens gets his man in the air, gets a closer look, feeds back out. Three-pointer, rimming in and out.
Thought that was one too many passes for Chattanooga. I thought Jake Stevens had a pretty good opportunity there driving to the basket and passed up the shot.
Alvin White couldn't knock it down. This is Friberg and this is Shepherd right here. Boy, he scared the OVC, and he's probably going to scare the Valley Conference as they have made the transition to the new conference this year. A.J. Caldwell gets his man in the air, and there's another basket for A.J. Caldwell, who is playing with more confidence now that the mask has come off of the face that was there to protect a fractured nose.
And A.J. is going to commit the foul there, but a great job from him. He had the lane, he got the lane on the drive, and a good job using his body to seal the defender off. And people forget, I mean, A.J. Caldwell's 6'5". He doesn't weigh a lot, but he's tall. He's got good length, and he used his body well there to get the two.
I think his season is going to be somewhat defined statistically by pre- and post-mask numbers. At the free throw line, this is Bellinger. Came into this game 8 of 10, that's 80%, making the first one.
And Dalvin White's going to take a seat, and that's going to get Robinson in. Well, no, Caldwell's still in there. Yep.
And the free throws reestablish the lead for the Bruins. The give and go, and the layup, and the foul on the drive to the Walker by Jamal Walker.
Just love to see Jake Stevens work. I mean, he really is. It's almost like a quarterback of an offense. He's constantly at the top of that key around the free throw line, and he is constantly talking to his guys and pointing and directing people, and they run this offense through him. And he's just such a smart basketball player, and really think that's what makes him an intriguing prospect, because he's 7 foot tall, but he's really smart. He's a good passer. Can shoot the three, can play with his back to the basket, can really do everything.
Jamal Walker trims that lead to 1. Jamal Walker, one of those oddities, 56% from the free throw line as he misses the second one. But from the field this year, he is 64% and then 66% from the three-point mark.
Chattanooga looking really good on defense here in these last couple of possessions. Really contesting, and that's a tough shot.
Over a tough and lengthy defender. And the ball goes out of bounds.
Crowd didn't like it. I think that's probably the correct call, but Chattanooga really doing a good job and denying that baseline drive, because really something that Belmont did against MTSU. They would get that baseline drive, opposite corner baseline kick, pass for a three, and Chattanooga's done their homework, looks like.
You heard the boos on the call. Those were intended for either Jason Baker, John Hampton, or Dan Powers, or all three of them. They will have a tough task this afternoon in what is likely to become a faster-paced contest as the afternoon carries through. Shepherd here.
Great switch there from Caldwell.
With the shot clock winding down, the second shot clock violation by the Bruins, and another turnover. That is their third. So at the under 12 mark, the Bruins lead by 1 here in Chattanooga.
Where can you go for family fun and do your holiday shopping all in one? clothes, actually. The final days of Winterfest are here. Save now before they're gone.
Conquer the great outdoors, or the great indoors. The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X. Welcome to the peak of premium off-roading. GMC, we are professional grade.
So where were we?
The playoff.
Only 4 teams remained. One looking to defend their crown, the others looking to take it. Soon they would take part in an epic playoff battle for the right to call themselves national champions.
And then what happened?
We'll find out soon.
Hey, what's up, Chicago? It's Zach Boog, and it's that time of the year where you don't want to be stuck on the side of the road. So it's time to get that service checkup, okay? Get your tires changed, get your brakes looked out, get an oil change, and you can do it all at ChevyDriveChicago.com. Schedule it ASAP right now.
A great story has magic, power, and every once in a while, it has miracles. As luck would have it, that's our story.
Today's drone footage is brought to you by Crystal Air. Kick off your next adventure by learning to fly. Can't necessarily tell by that look, but it is cold in Chattanooga this afternoon as winter temperatures have arrived. And speaking of icy, these two clubs at the under 12 are 2 of 13 shooting so far.
Yeah, not a great start, and both these teams are used to shooting the ball at a little higher clip than they have been. A little sloppy, but, you know, a lot going on for the student athlete in these last week and a half or so. You've got finals to contend with. You've got all the other students heading home, and here you are playing some ball. Not a bad gig, but a lot going on for these guys.
Stevens top of the key, guarded closely there as Jack Ubisic has come into the game, and he'll be a contender against Stevens as well. And Jake Stevens is going to earn a trip to the free throw line, it looks like here.
Yeah, Jack Ubisic, you mentioned him. He's been one of those guys that's been banged up, and he's only played in 2 games prior, but he's an important piece for them, too, that they're really excited to get back.
Correction, this will be Davis at the free throw line. 61% on the season. He has made 18 trips to the free throw line.
And for Belmont, number 0, Evan Braun.
And you do feel like at some point these free throws need to fall. Chattanooga as a team now making 1 out of 3. Make that 1 out of 4.
It's always interesting to me that you see really good three-point shooting teams that struggle at the free throw line.
And both these clubs today could be in that category. Making a play at the rim, Gillespie, and Belmont gets the rebound. Another chance for Gillespie. Rattles it around and out.
And for Chattanooga, the whole mantra is get healthy, right? Well, Grant Ledford in number 35 for Chattanooga on that left wing. He's not played a whole lot this season. He's been battling injury.
Johnson came around the pick, gives it back to Stevens on the give and go. He's doubled on the block. They pitch it left side. Here's the 3-ball, and Brody Robinson can't get the distance. Chattanooga with the offensive rebound. They'll get a fresh shot clock.
Going to give it to the quarterback, right? That's the equivalence of a touchdown pass right there. Just when Jake Stevens has the ball in his hands with his back to the basket, it's been great this year. He has been phenomenal in that situation.
First couple of points here in the first half for Davis as Chattanooga jumps out to that 1-point lead. They had a hot early start. They gave it up, and they are back in control. Gillespie, and he tries to fade one up and over Grant Ledford and just can't find the touch from distance. The putback.
Nice job for Grant Ledford. And there's a turnover with Robinson hustling on the other end, and that's what he does, right?
Tries to give it back between the legs, and that is correct. That's exactly what he does.
He's got a high motor.
We've had a combined 7 turnovers so far here in the first half. This is Shanks out in front. And then pitching to Isaiah Walker. So both of these coaches have gone into their bench here in the first half as we are halfway through the contest. Shot clock is about to wind down again. This one off the backboard and in. You gotta like it.
Looks like all net in the box score, doesn't it?
It does. There is a three-point shooter right there that shoots 23% from behind the arc, and he managed to get that one in. Stevens is being roughed up a little bit underneath. He battles to get it back and in.
Yeah, fought through some contact, got his own rebound, and a great play for Jake Stevens there.
Stevens has 7 on the first half so far, and Chattanooga's lead is now 2. Tyson, who's been quiet, hands it off to Shanks. And that is Grant Ledford with a hand in his face.
Yeah, a little bit of a late rotation there by Stevens on the corner shooter, and that's Cade Tyson. We talked about him. The freshman has been fantastic this year for Belmont.
Double-figure scoring in 10 out of 11 games this year for Tyson. That is quite an impact by a freshman.
I think this is a situation where Jake Stevens has improved so much this year. He's down in that low post.
Chattanooga trying to maintain possession.
Out of bounds, it's Bruins basketball.
As the Bruins will get the ball. Take a look at this. As the Bruins are heating up.
Sure are. Off the glass, shooting 50% here early on from 3.
And there's the one by Tyson in the corner. A little bit of a nuisance press here by White, and he will quickly back off. And again, from beyond the arc, quick rebound. Chattanooga out rebounding the Bruins 13-9 here in the first half. Corner 3, just off the mark, and Bronze will wipe it clean with a rebound.
Well, Chattanooga really struggling with their shot from the outside, only shooting 14% early on in this ball game.
Mocs are 1 of 7 from behind the three-point line. Ledford to White, trying to improve the numbers.
That'll help.
His first field goal of the game.
Dalvin White had 15 against MTSU. We talked both these teams coming off games against MTSU, and MTSU is the type of team that really tests you physically, and I thought that Chattanooga did a really good job responding to that and really keeping it up through the entirety of the game, where Belmont kind of wore out a little bit in that overtime period. But it makes it easier for us to prepare. You're right. You get to watch film on 2 teams that played the same team coming in.
Handling it all the way down the lane and getting it up and in. Friberg, his second field goal. Boy, the Bruins have been forced to go deep into the clock to get their points. Pitch back out, looking for 3, and just off the mark, and struggling to find his range is Johnson, who is 0 of 3 from behind the three-point line. The 9th meeting between these two schools continues after this timeout.
What does it mean to win? Is it reaching back for a jam? Or simply reaching without pain? Walking 18, or finding the joy in just walking again? Whatever it means to you, the region's elite orthopedic team can help you win by defeating bone and joint pain. What's your win? We'll help you find it. This is world class. This is the Erlanger Orthopedic Institute.
Are you tired of constantly maintaining that old wood deck? If so, it's time to call Chattanooga Exteriors and let us help you say goodbye to staining and splinters. We are the area's largest installer of Trex decking and have been awarded the Trex Platinum Award. We can help guide you through the process from concept to completion. Call us today and receive no payments or interest for 1 full year. Choose the best to better your home. Visit ChattanoogaExteriors.com or call us today at 805-3800.
If your tamer passions include climbing, hang gliding, and river surfing, some may call you a hair-on-fire risk taker. We'd say, nah. They might not realize you're also a nonconformist, craft curator, history buff, art-loving experience collector. But ask a Chattanoogan, we just call you one of us.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer. Now choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order on select Ford vehicles, lock in your rate, and you're protected.
I'm proud of you, kid.
And that's how Ford is helping you shine bright. Now get 2.9% APR financing for 72 months, plus no payments for 90 days on select 2022 Ford SUVs.
Tied at McKenzie Arena. We talked about Dalvin White getting healthy and able to knock down a three there. Chattanooga getting outshot by Belmont, 41% to 22% from three early, but Chattanooga happy to see number 10 back in action. Todd, he looks good so far.
He has one of the 2 threes made this afternoon. Jake Stevens has the other for Belmont. Gillespie, Davidson, Tyson, Friberg, and Shepard make up the 5 makes from behind the three-point line for the Bruins. Stevens draws a double team, and Caldwell ends up with it in the corner, who is coming off one of his better performances against Middle Tennessee State. Just missing. Defenders in the air, and Tyson, boy, he is so good. He just dips in underneath, gets a clean look.
Nothing about Cade Tyson looks like a freshman. He has no conscience. He will shoot the ball. It doesn't matter if he's 0 for 5, 5 for 5. He's going to take his shots. And, boy, it's just been a huge get for Belmont here earlier in the season.
When he gets to the free throw line a lot, he's missed only 1 in the month of December from the charity stripe.
I think a guy that's given Chattanooga a lot of good minutes is number 13, Corsalt, off the bench. I think he's been really good, and he's been able to spell some guys and step in for when Dalvin White was out. I think he's played well.
Jake Stevens couldn't take advantage of that mismatch. And then Keyshawn Davidson just felt like that all he could do was push back a little bit, and he draws the foul. Chattanooga will inbound with a fresh shot clock at 20. Stevens, corner, and the missed jumper.
Boy, great shot there. Jake Stevens fights through 3 guys and gets a hand on that, keeps it alive.
Trying to push it inside to the cutter, A.J. Caldwell, and it's intercepted. That is turnover number 6 now for Chattanooga. Davidson's 3 or 2. They're going to look at it later. Right now it's going to be a 2. At the next break, they will take a look at it.
You just can't let Belmont shoot without getting a hand up. And there was some traffic out with the screen, but you got to fight through that. You got to figure out a way to get a hand up or something, or these shooters that Belmont have, they're just going to knock shots down.
Corsalt dribbles into trouble, so he pitches back out. Chattanooga deep into their offensive look here. And Jack Ubisic looks like he may have picked up a foul defensively against Stevens.
Tough down low defense from Jack Ubisic. And I think that he was one of the guys that MTSU is such a physical team, and I think that game, especially for Jack Ubisic, he's trying to get worked back into the rotation, but that game really took a toll on him. I thought he played really well, and he played really physically when Belmont needed him to.
Yeah, they asked him to play more minutes with the absence of Bronze. And he gave them a pretty good effort, but certainly you can see that they are a much better team more than likely with the 2 of them available, because they allow you to stay fresh in the post. Tyson, that one was headed for the 12th row, but he goes up and he gets the errant pass. Friberg, Davidson, as they continue to play out on the edges. Tyson drops another 3 in. That'll bring up a break as Chattanooga wants to talk about their defense.
Coach Dan Earl all over the officiating crew. He thought that Jake Stevens got fouled on that last possession, and it's the life of a big man, right? I mean, he's a big body, and because he's so big and he's so physical, a lot of times contact like that is probably a foul doesn't get called just because of how big of a body he is. And Coach Earl was really upset there about, he believes, about the second no call down the blocks that Jake Stevens didn't get.
A 7-point lead by the Bruins. It's their largest here in the first half, as these two clubs have fought back and forth. And we are still waiting for clarification on whether or not there was a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer.
I think there's.
And we're the press table on our side is asking for clarification, and we have yet to receive it. Matter of fact, there seems to be a lobbying effort by both radio crews and the One TV crew, and we have settled on the 2-pointer. Jake Stevens again handling with Bronze coming out defensively. Johnson has it to give back, and he arches one in. Jake Stevens with his second 3-pointer of the game.
That's what has NBA scouts excited about Jake Stevens. His ability to play at the free throw line, to take one step out to the 3-point line, knock shots down. Also, what he's added is being able to play down low on the block. Gets people excited now. You start knocking down threes like that.
He has made 4 from the field today. He has 10 points. He is the leader on the floor for either team.
This is where you got to watch Belmont. I think they do a great job with their inbound sets. They got a lot of easy baskets against MTSU. That time just getting it in, but got to watch them on the inbounds play. Coach Alexander does a great job with his team in those sets.
Trying to improve on the lead. Here's Shanks with a fadeaway turnaround jumper. The junior from Bentonville, Arkansas, has his first field goal here in the first half. And then the trap on the far side, and Dalvin White needs to take a timeout. That was about to be another turnover. Bruins leading by 6 as we are under 4 minutes to go here in the first half from Chattanooga.
Change is coming.
The Belmont Bruins lead by 6 here in the first half. Chattanooga came into this game number 3 in the nation in 3-pointers per game. They were number 1 in the Southern Conference, and yet over half their points so far in this one, Will, have come from in the paint, 12 of the 22.
Yeah, and really for Chattanooga, just sloppy. I mean, they've turned the ball over 7 times so far in this first half, and really just have had to work a lot harder than Belmont has, it would appear, on the offensive end.
Belmont with the lead, shooting 45% from the field. Dalvin White has it. Johnson's taken plenty of shots, and almost another errant offensive mistake. Caldwell's 3. Stevens gets another rebound. Stevens is working on a double-double here in the first half.
Just great on those tap outs too, Todd. He just keeps the ball alive, always fighting. That's another one that you credit to Jake Stevens down there on the tap out.
Stevens has 11 rebounds after this possession. White buries the 3. White has hit 2 of those now.
Gave it the fist pump too, and he gets the credit there, but Jake Stevens keeps that possession alive, not one time but twice.
Stevens with the 10 points and the 11 rebounds. Should also point out a pair of assists this afternoon. Bronze, top of the key. Bronze has been quiet this afternoon. This is a game back after a couple of games being absent. And his offensive presence has yet to be revealed, but his defensive presence has been problematic, drawing the foul on the drive into the paint.
You're just really in a conundrum with Jake Stevens as a defender. You have to guard him at every point in the half court. And a lot of these guys that are 7 foot, but this is the new age type of guy in the NBA, right? A 7 foot guy who can handle the basketball, who can pass it well, who can shoot the three. It's just these guys, we didn't see these guys 20 years ago.
Davis travels with the ball. And that is turnover now, number 8 in the game for Chattanooga. And a lot of these are just offensive mistakes.
Yep.
Right? Mental
errors.
Mistakes. Yep. And so Davidson with a chance to improve upon their lead here in the first half. This is Friberg. Davidson has done this without pretty much his shooting. If he were to get hot in this game, there's no telling how many points they could put up. A block underneath, and Dalvin White comes away with it. Dalvin White splits the defense, floats it in, draws the foul. He'll go for one more.
Great job. That's something that Chattanooga doesn't do a lot, is push the tempo and the fast break. But Dalvin White found a crease and was able to finish there through the contact. And they just don't do it a lot. Great body control, great shot there. He's been fired up, Todd. Number 10 is glad to be back in there.
A chance to tie the game. Shoots 78% from the free throw line. Chattanooga is just 1 of 4 this afternoon from this spot on the floor, and things are getting worse. Had an opportunity to tie the game, and they come up 1 short. Gillespie.
I really think Belmont has to find a way to get Shepard back involved in this game. He's just been a little bit quiet. Great tip in there by Bronze. But they've really gone away from number 22 in blue, and I think you just kind of got to get back to him, one of your best players on the offensive end.
Bronze, the number 2 prospect by ESPN in the state of Iowa in 2020, on the board for the first time here in the first half. And it looks like he's going to pick up a foul here, and this would be his second. Fortunately for the Belmont fans, this second would come with less than a minute and a half to go here in this opening frame, and he's going to remain out there and play with 2. Maybe they've made the change and given the foul to Davidson.
Yeah, I do think that's what happened. Tyson had his hands up like, I didn't touch him, and I think he was told, no, we know you didn't touch him, but your buddy did.
Jake Stevens trying to make some free throws. Making a pair on his trip to the free throw line, which you would expect. Jake Stevens is 87%, and he will make improvement on Chattanooga's free throw numbers. He now has 12 points here in the first half. A minute to go now here in the first half from McKenzie Arena. And Walker gets his hands in there, deflects it, and creates the turnover.
Great help on defense there for Chattanooga from Jamal Walker. He just had the little tap, knocked the ball free. Not a great pass there from Jake Stevens.
That's where Jake Stevens has been slightly off today. This is Friberg out of control. Shepard with a dribble, lines it up. And there's the results as it rims out to the right side.
Chattanooga faithful wanted to travel there before the shot. Didn't get it.
Checking in for Chattanooga, number 10, Dalvin White. In for Belmont, number 1, Isaiah Walker.
Well, despite the fact that the Bruins are now under 40% from the field, they still have a 2-point lead. And Chattanooga has moved to a nudge above 40%. And their three-point shooting has improved now 4 out of 15.
Well, really, the thing that's keeping Chattanooga relevant in this ball game is the rebound margin. They're out rebounding Belmont 22-14 in this first half, and a lot of those have been on the offensive end.
3-second difference between the shot clock and the play clock. And it looks like Chattanooga is going to be comfortable to use as much as necessary. With 6 to go, here's the three-pointer from Johnson. Johnson finds his first of the game. He's got 5 now. Shepard's run the length of the floor. It comes up short. So Chattanooga manages to come back late.
What a great first half for Jake Stevens, and really it's just been what he's done all year long.
And you saw the numbers for Dalvin White hitting 2 3-pointers. And we are back underway. You know, the other interesting thing over the weekend as Tyson takes it and lays it up and in was the fact that Louisville was celebrating their second consecutive win of the season after starting off with 9 losses.
Well, they've been really struggling, and you mentioned it, just a great day of basketball yesterday, and that I had all good intentions of watching Tennessee, Arizona, but that's past my bedtime. 10 p.m., I'm usually heading towards the bed.
Caldwell, you and a lot of others. Stevens underneath. This is a one-on-one matchup that he capitalizes on.
He's just so strong, and you know, it's so hard to get the ball out of his hands once he gains possession. He's got really good hands for a big man. It's like vice grips.
Shepard lobbing it in and creating some room and finding his way to the basket is Cade Tyson, now quickly with a pair of baskets here in the second half.
Great entry pass from Shepard. Just a lot of touch there, great vision, and Tyson was able to clean it up.
Little bounce pass inside. Braun's going to handle. Comes back out to Johnson. Inside to Davis. And the tip back by Jake Stevens.
Yeah, now what Belmont's doing, they're running the extra defender towards Jake Stevens. So a lot of guys going to have some opportunities here.
Corner 3 by Tyson. Doesn't fall. Johnson trying to get down the lane, is pushed out, and there's a foul.
You almost wonder when you see Chattanooga in the fast break if they remember how to do that. they a lot of times will walk the ball up. They want to get you in that half court set, and they run that 4 out with Stevens either on the block or at the free throw line, and that's just what they do on offense. So you've got the 4 out now, and then Stevens will eventually make his way inside if it goes long enough, which it doesn't.
Caldwell will miss long, and Belmont corrals a loose ball. Bruins with a chance to regain the lead here in the second half.
Friberg's a guy, it's been really quiet in that first half. Great shot there from Keyshawn Davidson, and he's got a great looking stroke. Tennessee Tech transfer.
You know, he was a player last year against UTC that really rebounded well. 10 at the end of the game last year. There's a foul inside. And the year before that, he rebounded well. These two teams, we mentioned this is just the 9th meeting, but they've played more recently than in any time past. Now this is an area where Chattanooga can tie the game, but it has been a problem from the free throw line this afternoon. Jamal Johnson's first trip.
Yeah, Keyshawn Davidson committed his second foul, so they're going to get him out of the game, and they'll bring in Jacoby Gillespie, another freshman. This Belmont team, I tell you what, the future is bright. In this day and age, you know, it's so hard to predict who's going to be good year to year because of the transfer portal. I mean, you can just reload very easily, but Belmont's got a couple of young pieces here that's going to ensure that they are really good in the next couple of years.
Jamal Johnson making a pair has tied this game up. Johnson making stops at Memphis, Auburn, and UAB before coming to Chattanooga to finish out his career, and he'll draw the foul.
Great interior passing there from Belmont. Braun's got hacked on the layup attempt. They're going to give that foul to Jamal Johnson. That'll be his second.
Braun's has been to the free throw line 21 times on the year, making 17. This is his first trip in this game, and he floats it through.
See Casey Alexander there briefly, Belmont head coach. He's done a really good job here. And anytime you come back to your alma mater, means a little bit more, right? And I think he's done a really good job. He inherits a program that's used to postseason success, and he's continued that.
Got to admit, the basketball fan in me was a little anxious that Evan Bronze was not going to be available today. I was really looking forward to watching him play, and we didn't learn anything in our conversations with anybody from Belmont Friday morning about his availability. It wasn't until late last night that his name finally popped up as available.
Yeah, he just took a seat. I think they're going to be really cautious with his minutes. He's coming back from a concussion, and they're going to be real careful. They're going to watch his cardio and make sure he's fresh in there. They're going to need him coming down the stretch.
Ben Shepard gets the rebound. And there's a three-pointer that floats in.
Friberg can really shoot it up. Coach Dan Earl called him a driller. He's like, we got to know where he's at all times.
And that is one thing that Dan Earl feels like he doesn't have is a consistent driller. And they're kind of hoping as Chattanooga turns it over that A.J. Caldwell could regain some of his shooting stroke and become that player. Shepard's jumper.
Wow.
Just out top off the elbow extends the lead to 44-37.
Tough shot. 6'6" Ben Shepard can really elevate, and that was a lot harder of a shot than it looked like at first. Hand in his face. Great job.
Shepard with just his second field goal of the game. Trying a little A and B pass there on the cutter. And a whistle will stop play.
Yeah, Belmont going to consistently roll the second defender to Jake Stevens now, and that's going to get offside, off-ball cuts engaged. And Jake Stevens a good enough passer that he can fight through that. He's so unselfish that he knows, okay, double team's coming. I've got a cutter in the lane, and he's a good enough passer to make the play happen.
Here's Demetrius Davis. He's already missed a pair and finds a little redemption on the first.
Davis to attempt his second shot.
You see Corsalt standing behind him now at midcourt as he comes in to play one of the guard spots. A chance to get to 39 points for Chattanooga, and Demetrius Davis connects. Davis has shot 50% or better in his last 3 games on 29 attempts. And you add in the 13 boards, he's had a pretty good run. He's not finding a lot of offensive success today, but obviously you can see from his length right there, they like him out there. The 3 ball on the way and in.
Tough shot from Johnson. I mean, that was well defended, and he just knocked it down.
That's another Powerade three-pointer.
That is his second of the day. He's got 10 points this afternoon. It's his second field goal, or rather his first, I should say, here in the second half. Gillespie lobbing in. Tyson with a leaner, and he'll go down hard. And at 15-20, Chattanooga has climbed within 2. We've got a break in action. We're back with more from Chattanooga on ESPN.
Carrie Underwood and James Harden always go for more with Body Armor Light. With natural sweeteners, no sugar added, and only 20 calories.
If your tamer passions include climbing, hang gliding, and river surfing, some may call you a hair-on-fire risk taker. We'd say, nah. They might not realize you're also a nonconformist, craft curator, history buff, art-loving experience collector. But ask a Chattanoogan, we just call you one of us.
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. From now on, we're not going to leave anything on our plates because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
We need to talk. Talk trash, that is. Way too much of it is getting tossed on Tennessee roadways. Over 100 million pieces of trash. It costs $19 million a year just to pick it all up. Don't believe it? We'll show you. In the upcoming Talking Trash, the movie. Catchy name, right? And you'll want to catch it. You'll meet a whole cast of characters who talk trash and do something about it, too. Learn more at NobodyTrashesTennessee.com. Brought to you by the Tennessee Department of Transportation.
The Belmont Bruins have a 2-point lead against the Chattanooga Mocs, a team that made it all the way to the NCAAs last year. And for Belmont, they have 13 games this year against teams that made it into postseason play. So this being one of them. And that's the reason why you come out to watch this game.
Separated by only a couple hours, but only the 9th meeting all time. Chattanooga leads at 5-3. Just makes sense to play these games. And, you're coming off of a week to where Belmont played MTSU, Chattanooga played MTSU, and now it ends with Chattanooga playing Belmont.
Cade Tyson making his first trip to the free throw line. He has moved into double-figure scoring now with 13.
He's going to be a problem in that conference. I'm telling you right now. I mean, this is a really good-looking player.
He has had 18 twice this year, and he's 4 points away now. Bit of a nuisance press here by the Bruins. Take some time off the shot clock. Corsall. And this is Davis coming across the top. Tries to throw it inside, and the defense steps in front. That was Davidson. And Belmont on the first wave can't find anybody. So Friberg will shoot and make the three.
He's going to knock it down. You just if you don't close out, if you're not aggressive in your closeouts, he's going to knock that shot down. It's just the type of player he is. That's why he's in there. And right now hurting Chattanooga.
Well, he was 9 of 18 in that category as we watch the battle underneath in the last 3 games. And he's got 3 3-pointers in this one. Grant Ledford making his second basket now.
Chattanooga excited to get Grant Ledford back. They've got Casey Hankton that's on the bench trying to work through injury and trying to get a little bit healthier to extend that depth.
Davidson sticks it in the rim, and on the possession arrow, Chattanooga will get possession of the ball. Well, the Bruins are trying to put this one away early, if possible. Chattanooga has not found themselves in this position in the last couple of games.
Going back to Stevens to try to initiate the offense. Got away from it the last couple of times, and they will work the ball through his hands. That's a tough pass.
4 seconds on the shot clock for Corsall, and had a hard time getting it up and over. This ball goes out, and Chattanooga will keep possession of the ball.
Coach Earl pointing things out. Let's see what they'll come up with, and that's just the easiest thing to do, right? Just throw it up top to the 7-footer.
Chattanooga has won 6 straight, and there's another turnover. That'll be their 12th here in the contest. Boy, they just don't look as sharp as they have been in the past, and it's hard to say whether or not it is them or the presence of the Belmont defense.
Yeah, it just hasn't been just sloppy with the basketball, and that's something Chattanooga has done fairly well. And we talked about, they're not a team that's going to pressure you and cause you to cough up the basketball. So if you're not a team that's going to apply pressure and you're not a team that's going to get a lot of turnovers, you surely cannot turn the ball over yourself.
And the result is Belmont has 39. Now they have 40 shots. Chattanooga is sitting on 37. Not a place they want to be. They typically enjoy being out in front on that statistics by a wide margin. So they're going to have to overcome a poor performance so far in the turnover category. Another turnover.
Belmont has started playing that backdoor cut pass very well. They've gotten a couple of turnovers now in this second half off of that. A great job by Stevens off the backboard with the block, but it's going to stay on this end on possession. And early in the game, that little backdoor pass really hurt Belmont, but they've adjusted, and they're playing that really well now.
That was Stevens' 5th turnover of the game. As you see the big guy right there who ran the length of the floor to get back engaged defensively.
Of those 5, I guarantee you 3 have been on that, the little backdoor cut that Belmont has gotten a handle on.
100% agree. Jamal Walker checking in for Chattanooga.
Got to watch these sets from Belmont. They're very good underneath the basket.
You see Walker on that far side, who has checked in along with Bellinger for Belmont. Belmont by 5, inbounding with 22 seconds on a shot clock. Comes out to Walker. This is a very different looking squad right now on the floor for Belmont as they are looking for some minutes off the bench, with Shanks also involved. Bellinger's 3.
Chattanooga really needs a good offensive possession here.
Stevens, the trailer, passed up on a shot. Ledford bounces it in.
Great job.
One is knocked out of his hands. You said it, by Bronze.
Boy, that's a great sequence. First of all, with Bronze on the tip, he's like, look, I'm not going to win this contest of bodies down here with Jake Stevens. Just a really good play to tip the ball out, and on the other end, great drive and finish by Keyshawn Davidson.
Jamal Walker, big step. Works it back outside. Corsolt now trying to come around the top off that pick. There's very little room off the screen. Makes his own shot. That's his first made basket of the game. So Chattanooga, inside of 12 minutes to go here in the second half, still trailing but maybe playing better, as they have made a shot to break a drought. We're coming back after this.
Take a picture. I'm stuck! Is that a new iPhone?
Yep, I just got the new iPhone 14 with its amazing camera at T-Mobile.
I don't know what to do!
Just head to T-Mobile this holiday and get gifts for the whole family. For a limited time, get 4 iPhone 14s on us and 4 lines of unlimited for $25 a line.
Wow!
Wow is right, and T-Mobile has price lock guarantee. Unlike the other big guys, we guarantee we won't raise the price of your rate plan, ever.
Eau de parfum.
So where were we?
The playoff.
Only 4 teams remained. One looking to defend their crown, the others looking to take it. Soon they would take part in an epic playoff battle for the right to call themselves national champions.
And then what happened?
We'll find out soon.
It's NBA Christmas Day, beginning at noon on ESPN and ABC.
Chattanooga has made 3 of their last 4 field goal attempts to get within 4 now here on their home floor. And Will and I were discussing before the break what Chattanooga could do, if anything, to give Jake Stevens a rest, and they have found a way in the form of Sam Alexis, who is going to come out on the floor now and play.
Yeah, they're going to set the big guy down, try to get him ready for this back end stretch of this ball game. And tell you what, Todd, the turnover situation is becoming alarming for Chattanooga. Chattanooga's turned the ball over 14 times to Belmont 6, and it's really costing them right now.
Isaiah Walker pushes the ball up there and misses. He's got a bit of an awkward shot at the free throw line, but the old saying is never bet against a golfer or a basketball shooter that has an odd swing or an odd shot, because chances are they have figured it out. And he makes his first. He had a season high of 9 versus Howard. He's a minutes player.
So here's the interesting storyline. Can Chattanooga find offense with Jake Stevens on the bench?
Davis backing in and forced to pitch it back out.
You would think every made basket from Chattanooga gives Jake Stevens one more possession that he can set and take a break, and that's not going to help. It's another turnover.
For Chattanooga now, they have 15 turnovers in this game. And Dan Earl, the head coach for Chattanooga, has talked relentlessly this year on his postgame shows about not doing just that. Going into Jack Ubisic with the fading hook, and he gets it in.
And that's Belmont's 17th point off of those Chattanooga turnovers.
And this feels like where they have had the advantage today against or against Stevens. They've been able to go with kind of a bigger lineup with Bronze underneath, and then Jack Ubisic against Jake Stevens. And he has been pushed around a little bit today, and that'll take a toll on you. Chattanooga deep into their offensive possession here as the shot clock is down to 5. They're going to have to hurry. Corsalt on the fade off the front of the rim. And Alexis wipes it clean and finishes it off.
Tough left-handed shot from Corsalt, but Sam Alexis down there, he's a big body now, and he plays really tough, and he can give you good minutes. 6'9" freshman from Apopka, Florida.
He played in just 2 minutes against Middle Tennessee State. Prior to that, in the previous 2 games, 5 of 12 shooting. And so you know that he is fresh. The possession arrow will point in favor now of Chattanooga.
Great job there from Jamal Walker getting on the floor, and Chattanooga thought about calling a timeout, and they thought better of it. They did have the possession arrow, and they'll regain it here. Chattanooga desperately needs a basket.
Still a 2-possession game now for Belmont as Jake Stevens will come back in.
Evan Bronze, 12, Drew Friberg. Number 10, Kate Tyson.
Gillespie on the floor, Shepard and Bronze out there along with Friberg for the Belmont Bruins. And Tyson has come back in as well. The double on the block. Caldwell, corner toss, Dalvin White just can't find it.
Great recovery from Belmont. They had the double on Stevens. They were weak on one side, but a great hustle play there from Ben Shepard to get over and contest that corner 3.
Saw Tyson there for a moment with his 6th rebound, almost getting his 7th there, but it's jostled away, and Chattanooga can close and cut into that lead. Here's Bronze getting back in. Jake Stevens leans low, gets it up, and misses just slightly out to the left. Fires it off the legs of Bronze, and Chattanooga will keep possession.
Jake Stevens just grinding down low, just a physical player, but he moves his feet well enough, and he's got enough coordination for a big man to make plays like that, and that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, for Jake Stevens, Merry Christmas and pass the Tylenol, right? Again, down low, double teamed, another turnover. He has not handled that well this afternoon. He's going to have to punch his way out of this, though, for Chattanooga to have a chance. Friberg. This is Gillespie. Coming down, throws wide. Shepard got a look.
Oh.
And then a flash and a bit of contact there. That'll draw the foul.
Yeah, it looked like who did they call that on? They called it on Gillespie. Came across the face there, but so Bronze has gotten Jake Stevens twice now on that post-up little poke out with the ball. It's interesting to see how Jake's going to respond to that now.
You know, normally you'd like to run it through your big guy down low. That's been problematic. Walker gets free for the layup.
Great dish from Jake Stevens. Good finish by Jamal Walker.
Walker adding to the offense for Chattanooga. He's got 3 points today.
Great
Bronze.
pass.
Walker with a rejection. Bronze again. and he can't get it to go either time.
Boy, Dan Earl was pounding his hands together, wanting his team to defend, and they really answered the call there.
Down by 3. Stevens underneath, draws the foul. We've gotten to the under 8 with Chattanooga closing. This one is getting tight. 7 days away from Christmas, and we're unpacking a good one from the arena.
If your tamer passions include climbing, hang gliding, and river surfing, some may call you a hair-on-fire risk taker. We'd say, nah. They might not realize you're also a nonconformist, craft curator, history buff, art-loving experience collector. But ask a Chattanoogan, we just call you one of us.
What does it mean to win? Is it reaching back for a jam? Or simply reaching without pain? Walking 18, or finding the joy in just walking again? Whatever it means to you, the region's elite orthopedic team can help you win by defeating bone and joint pain. What's your win? We'll help you find it. This is world class. This is the Erlanger Orthopedic Institute.
Get great seats, safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. Choose great seats from over 125,000 live events, all backed with a TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Get your tickets smarter at ticketsmarter.com.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer. Now choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order on select Ford vehicles, lock in your rate, and you're protected.
I'm proud of you, kid.
And that's how Ford is helping you shine bright. Now get 2.9% APR financing for 72 months, plus no payments for 90 days on select 2022 Ford SUVs.
Three-point lead for Belmont and 11 lead changes in this ball game. The largest lead for Belmont was 7 points. They have led most of the way out of the 30 minutes. Belmont's led 22 of them, and it's been back and forth here today, Todd. Great game so far.
Yeah, it's getting a lot better, isn't it? We wondered when this one would heat up, and it's gotten intense so far, and that has led to Jake Stevens getting to the free throw line. You talked about the lead changes. Part of that's because Chattanooga has been doubled up on the turnovers today, committing 16, while Belmont has only turned it over 7 times. And Jake Stevens with an unusual miss at the free throw line, and that could be because he has somewhat been tired out.
Yeah, he has the same number of points now as he does rebounds, 16 and 16.
Now has 17 points in the game. And remember, he had a double-double before the first half was even open. Tyson trying to dribble on White. Bit of a mismatch here, but he goes down. Boy, he had exactly what he wanted. He had the advantage, and he stumbles, and the possession arrow will point in favor of Belmont.
Great defense, and it's almost like the chair got pulled out. Jamal Walker just kind of backed up. Ball carrier hit the ground, was able to tie him up without committing the foul.
Shepard dribbling in. And A.J. Caldwell applies too much pressure, and that'll trigger a foul and a new shot clock.
That's a good foul, though, from A.J. Caldwell. He was back down. He was off balance a little bit. Shepard, a little bit of a mismatch for Caldwell when you get underneath the basket.
Shepard handling here, and then this is Gillespie. Nice little fade shot there.
2 points, Jacoby Gillespie.
His first field goal of the second half. He was the 2022 Tennessee 3A Mr. Basketball. So people around these parts remember him. Jake Stevens with a 3.
Well, if you could bottle that stroke up and teach it, I mean, that thing is almost perfect.
His third three-pointer gets Chattanooga to within one here in the second half.
This crowd really into it.
Jackie Bisick to Gillespie. Sets a screen, and the shot over it is good.
Wow, a tough shot. That's NBA three range. He was way back there.
That's his second of the game. Lead back out to 4. Caldwell passes up on a 3. Chattanooga appearing to be a little hesitant here on this offensive possession. This is Walker to the net and the foul.
Yeah, it does look like Jake Stevens looks like he's a little bit tired right now. He's done so much in this game, but a little bit more passive there in the paint than you'd probably want him to be. But, boy, he's earned his keep so far in this one.
At the line for the box, number 2, Jamal Walker.
Walker's second trip this afternoon. Hard off the back of the rim. Making just 1 out of 3 attempts so far.
Boy, Chattanooga 7 of 15 from the line, right? That's not good.
And Jamal Walker's a guy that is 18 of 24 coming into this game from the field. He's 8 of 12 from the three-point line, making just 50% from the free throw line this afternoon. Now, he's only played in 44 games. Don't forget, he had to sit out a lot of his first year with a leg injury. And a foul by Gillespie, and a good one, more than likely.
Yeah, great block from Jake Stevens, and you said it. That's probably a fast break stopper and a foul that you should probably commit if you're Jacoby Gillespie coming off the bench.
For Gillespie, though, this will create a foul issue for him. This is Shepard underneath, and there you see Stevens just keeping it in play with a block.
Well, Gillespie's main job, just give you valuable minutes while you rest Keyshawn Davidson, and he's done that.
More missed field goals, or free throws rather.
We get Jamal Johnson on the foul there on the reach. That's his third. So 2 guys for Chattanooga with 3, A.J. Caldwell and now Jamal Johnson.
Jackie Bisick on the give and go, on the cutter to Friberg, not there. Shepard trying to find some room, and he runs right into and over Jamal Johnson. How's it going to go? It's going to go against Johnson.
Oh, wow. Well, I think both coaches are one. Oh, he pointed the wrong way. Okay, that's what.
He flips it.
Yeah, he was pointing at the ground, and I thought he was calling that on Jamal Johnson, who had possession of the ball. Like that was confusing at first.
Ben Shepard drawing the personal foul. Yeah, I'm sure the official was wondering why is how many Belmont fans are here booing this call. Or
boy, Gillespie comes out now, and they're going to get Davidson back in. But boy, he played really well and gave him valuable minutes. Jackie Bisick will also sit down, and that'll get Braun back in. Braun and Jake Stevens been an interesting matchup in that low post.
Jamal Johnson at the free throw line has made a pair already today. He now has 11 points. As he will continue to try to draw Chattanooga within 1. Right-handed push. And that one was just a little too hard off the back of the rim.
Better find Friberg right here. You just feel like they're going to try to find a spot up for him. Boy, then take that back. Davidson with an early shot clock shot there.
Chattanooga with another chance to take the lead here. They've had these opportunities, but have missed a few. Mox with 24 points in the paint this afternoon. Unfortunately, so many turnovers have also come in that area of play with 16. Dalvin White, who's made a couple of threes, comes around the top. Davis passes it up. Shot clock down to 5. Someone's going to need to take it with 1 second. Stevens just didn't get a really good look at it as Braun came out and got a hand in his face. Davidson to Friberg, and another three-pointer by him.
You could just feel that coming. It had been a while since they had that penetration and the kick out to Friberg, and he now has 14 points, and man, he can really, really fill it up.
Yeah, 4 3-pointers here today. 3 of them coming here in the second half. Caldwell's going to try to answer. Misses long, and Jake Stevens pushes it up and in.
And Caldwell will get the assist there, right, just like you draw it up.
Chattanooga has won 6 straight. They've got some work to do in the final 4 minutes to hold on to that streak. Belmont came in here after losing to MTSU, and there's the block. Chattanooga runs out. Stevens, the trailer, holds on to it barely. And then a traveling violation by Davis. As we have gotten under 4 minutes of play, and Chattanooga is trying to pull one out here at home. They trail in-state rival Belmont, 62-59.
Conquer the great outdoors, or the great indoors. The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X. Welcome to the peak of premium off-roading. GMC, we are professional grade.
So where were we?
Playoff.
Only 4 teams remained. One looking to defend their crown, the others looking to take it. Soon they would take part in an epic playoff battle for the right to call themselves national champions.
And then what happened?
We'll find out soon.
Feels like we're onto something. Feels like a change is coming. Feels like a change is coming.
It's NBA Christmas Day, beginning at noon on ESPN and ABC.
The Belmont Bruins have won 20-plus games and earned postseason play in 15 of the last 17 years. That includes trips to the NCAA tournament in years 2006 to 2008. They had another stretch from 2011 to 2015. They win again in 19 and 20. They got a 3-point lead in this game, Will Poindexter, and we knew that eventually the 3-pointers would be an issue, and there's one guy right there that's gotten involved in Friberg.
Yeah, as you move down the stretch here, and when those drives in the paint happen, the defense is going to collapse more aggressively, and that's going to lead to these kick-out threes, and what team can make the shots?
Shepard's 3. And the rebound by Jake Stevens. Boy, it has been a tough start for the Belmont Bruins this year, but you could conceivably seeing them win 20 again. Contested pass out in front at midcourt. And you see the hustle by Ben Shepard, the senior out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's coming off a 33-point effort versus Middle Tennessee. And it feels like he left a lot of those points there because he's only got 5 here today. Shot clock at 5. Dalvin White recognizes and buries it.
What a shot. Boy, just a confident take by Dalvin White.
That is his second of the game. It's his first here in the second half. It has tied the game. It's brought the fans out of their seats.
Yeah, Jake Stevens motioning for the crowd to get up.
Well, we mentioned it was a good crowd here this afternoon. It's been the best of the year. Shepard puts it behind the back. This is Davidson now. Off the left-handed, right-handed dribble. With 3 to go.
Great job. Great job on defense there by Demetrius Davis.
2.5 minutes left in regulation. Dalvin White from the corner.
Jamal Johnson knocks it down, but boy, Chattanooga really getting some energy here from Dalvin White.
He has 14 points in the game. That's his third three of the afternoon. Chattanooga out in front by 3. Tyson to tie it. And he quiets the crowd from distance. Tyson making his third three. We're knotted at 65 with 2 minutes to go. We're back with more from Chattanooga after this.
Conquer the great outdoors or the great indoors. The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X. Welcome to the peak of premium off-roading. GMC, we are professional grade.
In America, you only watch pool because of Jeanette Lee.
Jeanette is powerful.
On the table, she will eat you alive. In black, wants to kill. The Black Widow.
I can't believe how she keeps getting up. Her body is quite fragile.
It makes the story better when you win.
30 for 30 presents Jeanette Lee Versus. Stream now on ESPN+.
It's inevitable. Cold weather comes. That means bad weather. Chicago, you know it is time to get your vehicle ready for the winter with a service checkup. Check your tires, your oil change at your local Chevy dealer. Go to ChevyDriveChicago.com to get your service checkup now.
As promised this afternoon, Dalvin White from the corner, Jamal Johnson, and then in return on the other side, Tyson. Jamal Johnson, Dalvin White, and Jake Stevens each have made 3 threes in this game. For Belmont, Cade Tyson has made 3, and Drew Friberg has made 4. And after all is said and done, we played this long, and this game is tied. Jake Stevens with Jack Ubisic on him. This is a one-on-one matchup. The miss on the bunny.
Yeah, Jack Ubisic, a really physical defender, did a good job there pushing Jake underneath the basket there.
Like Chattanooga got exactly what they had hoped they could get offensively and not able to respond with any points.
Looking for Friberg off the screen and got him. Wow, what a shooter.
His 5th of the day, his 4th of the second half.
Tyson and Friberg both now with 17 points for Belmont.
Just under 3,500 in attendance today. Stevens for the tie.
And just like that, he makes it look easy.
He's got his 4th of the game. He's got 25. This game is locked at 68, and the coaches want to talk about it. Watch right here.
What a fun game, boy. We're seeing some shooters show out. All thread from Jake Stevens.
You can see Grant Ledford, who knows how to shoot a 3 or more. He liked it when he saw it go. What's the one guy today that hasn't made one? 0-4 so far this season coming into this game. And has not taken one today. Chattanooga, 11 of 27, 40%. Belmont, 13 of 30, 43%.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Will.
Oh, and Chattanooga's turned the ball over 17 times to Belmont's 8, but the equalizer's been the rebounds. Chattanooga has out-rebounded Belmont by 16 in this ball game. It's kept them in it despite the turnovers.
And it certainly hasn't been the free throw shooting. 9 of 18 today, 50% for Chattanooga. They could easily look back at this one in a loss and point to the turnovers and the free throws. Shepard, he's blocked off the glass.
A great block there. Jake Stevens high-pointed that ball, and he got it right before it came off the backboard, really close to a goaltend, but look at that, just high-pointed it. A great play there from Stevens. Great body control, too.
Jake Stevens with his 5th block of the game.
This has been a really fun game, Todd.
Yeah, we were anticipating a fun game. In the first couple of minutes were very disappointing. As you're watching college basketball on ESPN, and now it has gotten to where we thought it could be, which was the most entertaining game so far of the season for Chattanooga here at home.
It's like the movie with slow start, right?
Yeah.
Had some character development that had to happen. That happened. But really, really impressive.
Yeah.
We've talked about it for Belmont, just the effort they're getting from guys like Cade Tyson, the freshman, and guys like Friberg, who we knew coming in were the real deals, and they have not disappointed.
Jake Stevens, the short line on him, 5 blocks, 19 rebounds, 24 points.
Good grief, what a line.
And he will look back and be awfully disappointed at the number of turnovers today. Chattanooga, with 15 on the shot clock, will try to spread the floor and create some room. Dalvin White is hawked there defensively. Trying to lob it in, only 6 on the shot clock. And for Chattanooga, turnover number 19.
A little bit of a force there with that pass down to Jake Stevens. He was guarded well, and they rolled the extra defender on him. A little bit of a force.
Belmont can take the last shot. Dalvin White comes out and fouls Davidson, and I don't know if that's what his coach wanted.
No, that was a miscommunication. He wanted the defense to step up so that you could get the 5 count. A little miscommunication, but it's okay. I mean, it's a freebie in essence.
Question is now, when do you foul?
Well,
if you foul.
Yeah, you play this thing out.
Davidson bounces it in the corner. Friberg trying to create contact. Jakubisik underneath. The question is did he foul out of bounds maybe?
I think the basketball hit the underneath of the goal stanchion. And if that's the case, it's a dead ball. And that's what they're going to call here. Yeah, it's going to be Chattanooga ball. And now we're going to look at the clock, because the clock says right now 0.4 seconds, but I think it's going to be more than that, maybe a couple of seconds even on this clock. So Chattanooga could have a chance to catch and shoot here.
Boy, in a game like this, all of a sudden all attention churns over to the scorer's table.
Well, and here's a situation for Chattanooga. I mean, if they put anything above 2 seconds, you'll have a chance for a pass in there. But my guess, it's going to be 1 point something. And if that's the case, the guy that catches it's going to have to get a shot off. Now, if it's 1.8, 1.9, 2 seconds, you have a chance for a dribble there with some separation and take a jumper. But we'll just see how much time's going to be added. We're going to find out. 1.7. So 1.7 seconds back on the clock. You have time to catch, 1 dribble for separation, and get a shot up. And 1 timeout left for both sides.
Chattanooga has worked hard to get into this situation. It'll be A.J. Caldwell who will throw the inbounds pass.
Sorry, Todd. You may get a timeout here from Belmont after they see what Chattanooga's going to do. Nope, they're going to play it out.
Stevens, Johnson, Dalvin White, all on the floor. Dalvin's going to take one from half court, and we are headed to overtime here in Chattanooga. These two teams have fought to a 68-68 tie. More coming your way after this on ESPN. Well, Belmont's been here before.
Recently. Their last game against MTSU was an overtime game. And the big storyline coming out of that from Belmont's head coach, Casey Alexander, is that he thought his team wore down. MTSU ended up winning that game in overtime by 10. And he said, look, our guys were just worn out. Now, granted, MTSU, the style of play they play, a little bit more physical than the style of play that Chattanooga plays. But we'll see if Belmont can rally here and correct that effort.
We saw some highlights from Drew Friberg, number 15 in the nation in three-point percentage, number 7 in the country in three-pointers taken per game, number 3 in the nation in attempts. So we'll tip it off in the middle.
Belmont has led this game for 27 minutes and 9 seconds to Chattanooga's 8:06.
Jake Stevens not able to tip it forwards or backwards on the jump, and Belmont will get the first look here in overtime. 5 minutes to make a decision. We could have a winner, we could have a loser, we could have extended play at the end of 5 minutes. Davidson dribbling out of trouble. Takes it into the corner. He's going to try to make a run on Jake Stevens here. Gets him in the air and lays it up underneath and around him.
Yeah, the good news for both Chattanooga and Belmont, nobody in foul trouble. The most fouls of anyone is 3.
Chattanooga has worked hard this afternoon to overcome missed free throws and turnovers so far. And this gym has gotten a little quiet here in overtime. Many people are holding their breath from the corner.
Great job. That all starts with A.J. Caldwell on a baseline drive. And old school, you drive baseline, you look opposite corner baseline, and he got it there. Nice assist from A.J. Caldwell.
Demetrius Davis has shot 50% or better in his last 3 games, and he makes the three-pointer. He's got 7. Tyson's overtime attempt is off to the left.
I think that's the first time we've seen Cade Tyson really force a shot.
Looking for a lob inside, and Jackie Bisick just putting a body on the big man, Jake Stevens.
Yeah.
And that'll be a foul that sends Jake Stevens to the free throw line for a 1 and bonus. Jake Stevens today, he's made 2 out of 4. Now he's got 26 points in this contest.
Yep. Chattanooga's left some meat on the bone at the free throw line. 10 out of 19 now from the charity stripe.
Boy, for Jake Stevens, his last 6 games, 27 points twice, 26 and 31 and 15 and 24, and now he's got 27 again. He had 34 and 39 in games last year at VMI, so there's still room to grow here in this gym for him.
Some confusion from Belmont on what they want to run here.
Davidson, oh boy, and a touch foul out in front. As physical as this game has been today, you wonder about that call.
Yeah, that's ticky-tack, and that's going to be a 1-and-1 for Belmont. There was not a lot of contact there at all.
The line for the Bruins, number 3, Keyshawn Davidson.
Davidson going to head to the free throw line, where he is 2 of 2 on the year, and that is it. He has yet to make a trip to the free throw line today. He's got 12 points. Already has a basket here in overtime. Boy, and he has delivered today in the guard position for Belmont, because he's had to live up to offensive numbers and a defensive effort today. I mean, he has drawn some tough challenges as he takes on Dalvin White right here.
Chattanooga go back to Jake Stevens initiating the offense.
A lead of 1 by Chattanooga.
And Jackie Bisick is on Stevens, and he is the more physical of the defender, but gives Jake Stevens a little too much space, and that's what happens.
Stevens has 30.
Wow.
He made a pair of three-pointers in the first, a pair in the second, one in overtime, and how about the response from Davidson?
Oh, Davidson answers right back. What a game.
Well, he has 17 points, and 7 of those have come here in overtime. He has been the entirety of the offense for Belmont here. Just a lead of 1. Tyson waits for the rest of the offense.
Belmont's problem against MTSU in that overtime game is they couldn't get quality shots, and they've gotten a couple of quality shots, one right there. That's a great drive from Jackie Bisick. He puts the ball on the floor and gets to the rack and scores it. Great drive.
He is 2 of 2 today.
That's efficient.
With 4 points. With 4 points. Stevens.
The double team backed off there briefly. That was a little surprising.
This could be Jake Stevens headed to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Yep. That was a little odd. Belmont rolled the double team and then backed the defender off, and then somebody else rolled in, but at that point you gave Jake Stevens the baseline.
Jake Stevens just warming up. And this is his second free throw of the day.
Number 2, Jamal Walker. Stevens to attempt his second shot.
The transfer from VMI. Looking to tie the game.
He's upset with himself, missing the front end.
When 5 minutes can go by in a hurry in overtime, as we are now down to a minute and a half and less. Jackie Bisick setting the screen. Well, he is the one player on the floor right now that's not a threat to shoot unless he is dead underneath the basket. And how about that layup and in by Davidson?
That was sweet. That was a sweet drive by Keyshawn Davidson. He is going off in this overtime.
Yeah, giving the Bruins a 2-point lead now. He has 9 points in 4 minutes for the Bruins as a timeout is needed or wanted by Chattanooga.
Whew. Fast and furious, boy. Keyshawn Davidson turning up the offense for Belmont as he now leads his team with 19 points.
This game was tied at 68 in regulation. These two teams seemingly have not missed a shot in overtime as the Bruins have put up 11 points since we got into this overtime. And Chattanooga has gone from 68 to 77. 4 personal fouls now on Jackie Bisick. He's the only one in this game that is in foul trouble. Belmont on a 7-1 run in the last minute 48 of play. There you see the numbers from tonight's contest so far. Chattanooga with the 26 points in the paint.
And you check in on the numbers for Jake Stevens. 30 points, 19 rebounds, 5 assists.
1 possession game here. Chattanooga can tie or take the lead depending on the shot selection. Caldwell comes to the top, sends it back out with time winding down. And just not able to find the range was Demetrius Davis.
Yeah, and now see if Chattanooga's they're going to try to double the ball, but a foul wouldn't be the worst thing here. And a timeout from Belmont. Boy, that was close. That was a great job there. You don't want to commit the foul, but you want to see if you can trap the ball and get a turnover there. And Belmont uses a timeout. Each team now will have 1 left.
Now for Belmont, they get to go back home after this, and they'll play Samford, a Southern Conference team with 4 members on the preseason all-conference team. They'll remain home against Bradley, a team that is one of the best defensive teams in the nation. And for Chattanooga, They're going to play a 7-3 Georgia squad next, who has yet to lose at home. And then it is a 3-game stretch of games on the road to begin Southern Conference play against the Citadel, Mercer, and UNCG.
Well, you remember back in the preseason for Chattanooga, this was supposed to be a rebuilding year. They were picked 4th in the Southern Conference. They look a little bit better than the 4th best team in the Southern Conference, I would say, right now.
Well, in Belmont, I think you could say the same. Look, they're just looking for their 7th win on the season.
So for Chattanooga, they're going to defend this out and get a timeout with any kind of a turnover. Well, I thought they committed a foul there, but it was not called.
Shank just sends it back out, and Walker has to foul now on Davidson. Keyshawn Davidson has made a pair of free throws. This will be a 1 in bonus.
Yeah, a couple of different ways you could have played that. There was about a 5-second difference between the shot and the game clock. Chattanooga elects to go ahead and foul, and they'll put Davidson on the line, who has been Mr. Everything for Belmont in this overtime.
He came into the game today making 2 out of 2 from the free throw line. He's made a pair today, so he's 4 of 4. He has 20 points today. And you could make an argument. A make here potentially ends the game. It's a slim argument with still almost 14 seconds left to play at 13.9. But it certainly does put Belmont in an advantageous position. Looking for a 4-point lead, and they've got it. 11 points in overtime for Davidson. The 3 on the way, and the putback by Jake Stevens.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you don't necessarily need the 3, if you can get a good look at it, and I think that was a decent enough look there to take the chance, but didn't absolutely have to have the 3 there. Ended up getting the 2, and now you're going to have an immediate foul situation on the inbounds.
A very entertaining overtime. See some of the play here.
Yeah, not a terrible look there from 3. And you would like it for Chattanooga to foul somebody other than Keyshawn Davidson here. You're going to get a lot of subs in for Belmont. They're going to get their ball handlers, their free throw shooters in the game. They'll sacrifice the rebounding for that. Well, if this score holds up, Chattanooga's going to look back and look at this one as one that really got away. I mean, just didn't play very crisp. The amount of turnovers is just a real problem in this game for Chattanooga. They have 18 to Belmont's 9. Haven't shot free throws well at all. Just a little sloppy here. And give Belmont credit. I mean, they have played really well. They came in here. I mean, it's been a great crowd, a great atmosphere, but they've played really well. They've gotten great efforts from the freshman Tyson, the transfer Keyshawn Davidson. Drew Friberg's been very good. So a big win for Belmont if this sticks right here.
Now Davidson has 21 points, 9 of those in overtime. Tyson has 17. Friberg has 17. For Chattanooga, their 3 players in double digits. Jake Stevens with 32. Jamal Johnson with 14. Dalvin White with 11. Jake Stevens with the double-double today, 32 and 20. But again, the turnovers today was 7. Had 5 blocks. 4.1 seconds to go. Chattanooga will have to foul as quickly as possible. And it looks like this is going to be Davidson headed back to the free throw line again. Jamal Walker picking up his 2nd personal foul.
Now you get one of these, obviously. You can put this bad boy on ice.
Keyshawn Davidson has not missed from the free throw line today.
At the line for the Bruins, number 3, Keyshawn Davidson.
This Belmont team's going to be dangerous moving into conference play. I mean, they're healthy now. Being unhealthy is obviously a bad thing, but it can turn into a good thing because it gets other guys involved, gives other guys confidence, a lot of playing time. But then when you get healthy, you're that much better because of it. If you can just make it through, and it looks like Belmont's going to make it through with a respectable record if they can win this one.
And it was brought to our attention on Friday. You mentioned, Will, the fact that these clubs have both played Middle Tennessee State. You've got Belmont, Middle Tennessee State, Tennessee Tech. You got State. You've got Memphis and Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
And nobody in the same conference.
Yep.
And Belmont, you would think, would be a natural fit for the Southern, but again, this is their year in the Valley, as a pair of free throws will more than likely end this one. And it does. So Belmont comes in here and wrecks a 6-game winning streak by Chattanooga. Will, your thoughts on this one?
Just big-time efforts from that guy right there, Jake Stevens for Chattanooga, but in the win, big-time efforts for Belmont. Keyshawn Davidson in the overtime period took over